Bo,
Yeah.
Keir Starmer's going to approve the China plan, the embassy, the Chinese embassy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This is like, at time of recording, this is like 2 days old because no one's talking about it. Like, I didn't know this was happening. 2 days old at time of recording because no one's talking about it. Didn't know it was happening. I had to purposely try and seek this out to try and get an update. UK expected to approve plans for Chinese mega embassy. Brilliant. Great. Love that. Fantastic. Well done. Also, he's also expected to poodle off over to Beijing as well to say hello to old Winnie the Pooh. Convenient. Convenient, isn't it?
In Bo's Britain, that gets shut the fuck down straight away. Yeah, I might even sever ties with China entirely. Keep your 90 billion. Sorry, go on.
Yes, well bad. This is really bad. So let's take a look. UK government expected to approve China's plans for a new mega embassy in central London. A final decision has not yet been formally taken. The fact that everyone's reporting on it, like all the outlets, again, it's not mainstream news. Like it's not being. This is huge news. It should be front and center actually, but it's not. But everyone's reporting on it. So the fact that everyone is reporting on it, it's going to happen. But the advice ministers are understood to have received from MI5 clears the path for the controversial project to be given the go-ahead, apparently. Great. Well, we know that MI5 recently did DEI, so maybe that's why.
And that's just not true. That's just not true. I did a whole segment on this on Load Seaters, and I think we did a video on here as well, didn't we? And in that, there was past and present heads of MI5 and MI6 saying, no, China's not to be trusted. They absolutely are at least an espionage threat, at least an industrial espionage threat, if nothing else. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. So that's just bullshit. That's just lies.
Yeah, it's dumb. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the logic. I don't get it. And the BBC says the expected green light will become the latest case study in the growing public argument about how wise a close relationship with Beijing is. It's not wise.
I was going to say that's a very nice, polite, genteel way of putting it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The public argument about how wise the relationship with Beijing. No, China are our enemies. We're in a cold war with China. They steal everything they can from us. They try and undermine us at every possible turn. The public argument about how wise and how you fuck off.
Yeah. There's a polite way of saying, this will backfire. This will be the case study, and when it backfires, it will show us that this isn't smart.
The case study, so the approval barbarians into your castle. Yeah.
Honestly, it's dumb. It's super, super dumb. It's infuriating, absolutely infuriating. So approval or rejection of the planning application lies with the Housing Secretary, Steve Reed, Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
Given the sensitivities of the judgment call, many others have been consulted, including MI5 and MI6. Bullshit. The decision has repeatedly been delayed, and last month the government pushed back a deadline to rule on the application on the 10th of December. Is that when they break up?
I don't know. It'd be interesting if it is just before.
When does Parliament break for Christmas?
I don't know.
I bet that is. Sorry about this, folks. When does Parliament break for December? Oh, okay. No. Christmas recess. House of Lords rises on the 18th. House of Commons rises on the same day, returning on January 5th. Okay. So they've got a week after they approve it.
So there'll be at least one PMQs.
One. Great. Great.
I mean, he's so The idea that it's actually
obvious,
Steve Reed, it's obviously Keir Starmer himself will have the final decision on that.
Yeah.
And he's just so in their pocket. He's such a little bitch.
Yeah, first the China spy scandal, and now and then this. It's like, well, that's obvious.
Yeah.
This is all very obvious. Yeah. You're just doing it in broad daylight, you bunch of cunts.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is so very painfully obvious, yeah.
And it's the bloody Royal Mint Court. That's of historical significance. And they're just like, yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Chinese peeps, have this. No.
Yeah. Two things about the site itself. One, it was the Royal Mint, so it's like super prestigious. Yeah, should be sort of a grade A listed heritage thing.
Should be a museum.
Yeah, it was exactly what I was about to say. It should be some sort of open museum thing. But secondly,
that'd be really interesting. I'd be really interested in that. Walking around that, look like all the machines, probably. Like, yeah, what? No, Chinese people can have it.
The other thing is, I think it was on the segment I did on Lotus, but when you look at the map or an aerial view of the site, right? Because quite often they'll show a picture and it's like this big sort of Georgian stone building, but that's not the half of it. It's actually a giant complex. It's sort of the size of a city block, a US sort of city block is what it really is. There's many buildings. Like, for a start, most embassies for smaller countries anyway are just like a townhouse sized thing. There's loads of embassies in West London, just west of like Westminster, places like St James's and Pimlico and South Ken, places like that. And a lot of them are just like, it's quite a big building, it's a relatively big building, but not much bigger than a mansion, right? And that's for even sort of mid to large countries. America's got a giant one, of course, but you know, for small countries, it'll be a really small building. You don't need a giant sprawling complex of buildings. You don't have to have that in any way, shape, or form. You don't have to have more than a few diplomats and an ambassador if you don't want to. For example, there was one embassy. I think it was one of the really crappy countries that we don't get on with, like North Korea or Venezuela or something. And it's totally a normal house. It's like a normal semi-detached 4-bedroom house in suburbia. That's their embassy, right? Okay, so they don't need this giant thing. And the thing that's most concerning is not just like the piss take of it, which is annoying. But I could live with that. There's loads of things that are just annoying, but the fact that the Royal this complex of buildings was actually used by some banks at different points, and they had underground tunnels and networks of electronics that ran to the City of London. If anyone doesn't know, the City of Westminster and the City of London is different from London. I won't bother explaining it, but the point is there's this entity called the City of London, which is actually quite small. It's got its own police force and stuff, and that's where most of the banking district is, where a lot of all the financial exchanges, where the Bank of England is. It's not too far from where this is. But anyway, when the banks were using that site, they had all this infrastructure to have super high quick electronic cables and things running to the City of London, so they could do various electronic finance things in the blink of an eye. Sometimes it really does matter if you're doing financial FX exchange trades, whether it's a fraction of a second or whether it's a second. That can make a difference. So anyway, the point is on all this is that on top of everything, there's actually genuinely an issue around national security, that they could tap into sensitive things in London. Like the Venona project is something that's happened in the past before. If you dig under a certain city and tap into wires, nowadays it would be fiber optics, but in essence it's the same thing. There's genuinely an issue around that. There's no way this should be okayed and lit. No way.
Well, China's, again, I mean, the BBC, we've reported on it, but the BBC is saying it here as well. So there's an awareness in government that rejecting China's long-standing desire for its new embassy could set back diplomatic relations. Yeah, because the ambassador for China quite literally says, "No, do it." Like there was just came out and actually said, "Yeah, no, do it. Like you will do this. Like we want you to do this, or we just we'll repercussions will happen." It's like, right, that's okay, bad that they're just coming out and saying it. The writing was on the wall at that point, to be fair. And then there's a statement here. Chinese embassy in the UK has previously said the new complex would enhance mutually beneficial cooperation between China and Britain. Well, I mean, I guess so. As Britain falls into a authoritarian state, yeah, I guess so, maybe. But this is ridiculous, and I thought we'd just give an update on it. It's absurd. It shouldn't be happening. China is an enemy, obviously, and this is pathetic.
Yeah, sickening.